Live from downtown Detroit, home of WDIV and Click on Detroit, Local 4 News at noon starts now.
Could we get our first sight of wintry weather tonight? Meteorologist Brandon Rue is standing by. He's tracking the changes that we can expect. And the state issues a new ban at polling places to prevent voters from feeling intimidated this presidential election. But we do begin at noon with the new information coming out in court right now about the plot to kidnap Governor Gretchen Whitmer. That story topping our news here at noon. Thank you for joining us. I'm Evrod Cassimy. Hearings continue over the explosive allegations in this case. And take a look. These 5 men are facing federal charges for the plot to kidnap the governor and overthrow the government. Well, this morning, attorneys for 2 of the men accused tried to cast doubt on whether they actually plan to go through with it. Local 4 defender Sean Lay is in Grand Rapids for us this afternoon. Sean, bring us up to speed.
Evrod, every time we have a hearing here, this is the second one, but we're talking about all the different defendants. So much more information comes out, but this time it's the defense's turn to ask the FBI questions, and the focus is on Ty Garbin from Heartland. He is a man that the Local 4 defenders have also been focusing on about his alleged role. Here's what we're learning today. Garbin is facing the same long list of federal charges, accused of allegedly plotting to launch terror attacks in Lansing and then kidnap or even kill Governor Whitmer. On the stand, that key FBI agent we heard from, whose focus is on terrorism, questioning him, Garbin's attorney. So here's what we learned so far this morning. 2 informants, they wore FBI wires for sound as this alleged plot was being discussed over the months. Under questioning right now, the FBI said there's actually no video that go along with the audio recordings. The attorney making the point the FBI can't tell who was walking away from these meetings if they didn't agree, if Garbin himself perhaps objected and then walked away. The FBI says the alleged plot was to storm the State House, kidnap or kill the governor, and also target Virginia's governor. A defense attorney for Ty Garbin said, did any of that happen? The FBI said, no, they were able to stop the plot. They're taking a break, but again, new information continues to come out, this time the defense. It's their turn to ask the questions there. Ty Garbin from Heartland wants out of custody, and that's what he's fighting for today. Much more at 4, 5, and 6.
All right, Sean, thank you for keeping us updated. We'll be definitely checking in a little bit later. We want to get to breaking news now. On that racially motivated attack on a Warren couple, police say the suspect is facing new felony charges in this case now. Michael Frederick Jr. is his name. He's charged with malicious destruction of property in addition to the 9 other charges that he faces. He's accused of shooting at the home of the Hall family, slashing their tires, and even spray painting racist graffiti on their truck because of their Black Lives Matter sign. Police say Frederick's father is also now facing charges for being an accessory and tampering with evidence. New here at noon, the state is banning the open carry of guns at polling places this November election. And Secretary of State Jocelyn Benson issued the new guidance earlier this morning. She says people cannot open carry within 100 feet of polling places. The Secretary of State says guns might intimidate voters. State police and Michigan's Attorney General say that they will issue guidance to law enforcement on security issues that could impact the election. Well, some of you might have woken up this morning to a bit of frost in the air, at least a chill on your Friday morning. And now as we head into the afternoon, let's check with meteorologist Brandon Rue. You mentioned the possibility of some winter-like weather. And why do I get the feeling that you're talking about more than frost?
Well, I think it's a combination of really the cold, that message we want to make sure everybody's aware of, but can't rule out a little wintry weather, maybe a rain-snow mix across parts of central and northern lower later tonight and overnight, but we're not seeing any of that white stuff here just yet. Temperatures are near 50 degrees, right around 10.5 Celsius. Winds are picking up. Boy, I can tell you the leaves are shaking out here. Southwest winds are 10 to 20, could be gusting a little stronger. And we're going to see temperatures capped in the middle 50s today with an increase in cloud cover and also an increase in those wind gusts. Any shower chances pretty isolated to parts of our west and north zones up into the thumb. Maybe parts of Livingston, northern Oakland County could get a late afternoon shower. So if anybody is heading to football games tonight, First things first, make sure you are dressed appropriately. It could be a sweatshirt and jacket with gloves. And a few, again, mainly north and west zones, could get a couple of drips during tailgating time. But most of the night, for most of us, dry, just on the cool side. More wintry weather for your Saturday. And by that, we're talking about temperatures more than anything. Okay. That weekend forecast coming up.
All right. Brendan, thank you so much. Michigan will be center stage in the presidential race for the next 2 days, with visits from both presidential candidates, starting with Joe Biden today. The former vice president will first be stopping in Southfield. That's at 2:30 to talk about health care. He'll then be heading to Detroit for a voting event after 6. Local 4 will be speaking one-on-one with Joe Biden. We'll have much more coming up in our later newscasts. Tomorrow, President Trump will be on the western side of the state, where he'll be speaking in Muskegon at an airport hangar in support of law enforcement. That is scheduled for 5 p.m. We'll have complete coverage of that for you tomorrow as well. And their appearances come after the president and Joe Biden took part in dueling town halls. They hit some of the same issues, but not at the same time. Here's Tracy Potts with a look at how the big issues were addressed.
If you couldn't or didn't watch both, we'll try to fill in the gaps for you. It was a calmer tone up in Philadelphia with Joe Biden, sometimes testy on stage with the president down in Miami. He declined to denounce QAnon, that conspiracy theory. That was a big deal. And interestingly, he barely even mentioned Joe Biden by name.
Well stated, I have to say. Good job.
President Trump and Democratic nominee Joe Biden both making news in their competing town halls. The president with NBC's Savannah Guthrie on losing the election.
Will you accept a peaceful transfer? And the answer is yes, I will. But I want it to be an honest election.
Vice President Biden on ABC with George Stephanopoulos on enlarging the U.S. Supreme Court.
So you'll come out with a clear position before Election Day?
Yes, depending on how they handle this.
Both candidates answered questions on coronavirus, Biden slamming the president's response.
It is a presidential responsibility to lead, and he didn't do that.
The president on testing at the last debate.
You don't know if you took a test the day of the debate.
Possibly I did, possibly I didn't.
President Trump tried to clear up concerns about race.
Are you listening? I denounce white supremacy.
And the $400 million he reportedly owes.
No, I don't owe Russia money. I don't owe, I owe a very, very small, it's called mortgages.
Yeah.
People have a house, they put a mortgage.
Any foreign bank, any foreign entity?
Not that I know of.
Biden addressed criticism about the 90s crime bill, the Green New Deal, and whether he'd mandate a coronavirus vaccine.
It depends on the state of the nature of the vaccine, when it comes out, and how it's being distributed.
Both men are set to appear on the same stage next week for the final debate in Nashville. But first, more campaigning today in Georgia and Florida for the president, Michigan for Joe Biden. He's up there talking about health care. I'm Tracy Potts. Back to you.
Thank you, Tracy. Our trust team has been working through the night with a chance to break down some of those answers for you in the town halls and bring you just the facts. You can watch all of Grant Harms's reports on our website. Just go to clickondetroit.com for that. In other news this afternoon, we're going to get another update in a few hours about the coronavirus impact here in Michigan after the state saw its highest number of cases since the pandemic began just yesterday. This is what we saw. Michigan reported 2,030 new cases and 32 more deaths on Thursday. That is the highest number in a single day. The previous number was 1,953 in April. And an alert this morning from the city of Wayne. An employee there has tested positive for the virus, an employee at City Hall, and that employee was at work on Monday and Tuesday of this week. So they're asking for anyone who visited City Hall on those days to monitor themselves for any symptoms. Meanwhile, Meijer has expanded a service that a lot of people are taking advantage of during the pandemic. We'll tell you why it might make you feel a little bit safer the next time you shop.